Hi, YouTube camera. I got several cameras in here. I like cameras. I like taking photos, even though I've come to a place where I don't know what to take photos of anymore because I don't go anywhere. And so I've been taking photos of our grandchildren who now live down the street. Well, two of our grandchildren, we have 6 altogether. 2 of them now live down the street, and I can just take photos all the time now. But anyway, I thought I'd make a video since it's been 24 hours here in West Michigan. It is a Saturday night. It is going on 10 o'clock at night. I was watching college football, but I was not really into the game. I don't know. I'm kind of like, I keep saying this, but I'm kind of out of it. I suppose maybe the technical word is that I feel like shit. Maybe that's it. I just don't feel good. Which is, it's kind of like, well, who do you tell? I mean, my wife, if I tell her I feel like shit or I'm depressed, she'll say, well, go talk to somebody. But I don't know anybody I want to talk to. Plus, why talk to anybody? My way of dealing with my feeling terrible and depressed and feeling like shit is just to wait it out and pray. I've been doing that all my life. I mean, but you know, I can't really remember one. I think there was a time when I was younger I was anxious, or maybe I felt guilty because I was living in sin. I wasn't living according to the teachings of the Bible. I mean, I was backslidden. I was in the far country. So I had, you know, pangs, you know, my conscience would torment me. But then I got right with the Lord, and that was a long time ago. Around 1976 is when I really start walking the straight and narrow. Now, I'm not saying I've lived a perfect life. That I've lived I struggle with sin, and I'm broken, and I could be a lot more loving, a lot more giving. But I don't know what, but I'd say the last, 30 years, more, it's not so much, well, maybe there was some anxiousness. For years I struggled about assurance, if I was really saved, if I was really a Christian, and I still struggle with that. I asked Gerald the other night, I asked my wife, do you think I'm a Christian? And she said yes. And she said herself that sometimes she has doubts. Maybe every Christian maybe struggles with doubts and assurance. Am I really a Christian? Because if you're really honest and you look at yourself and you look at what it means to live according to the Word of God, you know, we all fall short of the glory of God. We all are still sinful no matter where we're at in our spiritual life along our spiritual journey. But anyway, the point is, I don't feel good. I feel depressed. I feel sick. I feel miserable. But I still read. So today, I woke up this morning. It was the 1st. This is September the 1st, 2018. And this morning when I got up, I just looked at this book that I showed you last night, Hovoc. This is published in 1930 in Danish. It's considered like, it says here, translate from the Danish by Carl Malmberg. Hovoc is one of the best novels to ever come out of the Scandinavia. As discomforting as it is beautiful, it betrays the fall of a man, and it's so hypnotically written that you want to fall with him. That's by Carl Malmberg. You know, he wrote those big, huge series Oh, I can't remember. My mind just went blank. Anyway, it says here, Ola, I can't pronounce Danish names. Ola Jushitov is the very model of an enterprising and ambitious young man of letters, posed on the brink of what is sure to be a distinguished career as a critic. In fact, he is teetering on the brink of an emotional and moral abyss. Bored with his beautiful wife and chafing at the burdens of fatherhood, disdainful of the commercialism and political opportunism of the newspaper he works for, he feels more and more that his life lacks meaning. He flirts with Catholicism, flirts with communism, but somehow he doesn't have the makings of a true believer. Then he takes up with the bottle. Truly meaningful relationships. Slowly and quietly he intends to go to the dogs. Jastrowiff's romance with self-destruction will take him through all the circles of hell. The process will be anything but slow and quiet. So yeah, it says here, somebody quotes, the Ulysses as well as the Steppenwolf of Danish literature. So it sounds like a perfect thing to read when you feel like shit, doesn't it? You feel depressed. But that's what I've been reading today. I read 45 pages when I wasn't just staring off into the void and wandering my cell and writing in my diary, looking at stuff on the internet, watching videos. And but I was going to say last night what I volunteered at the Library Used Bookstore yesterday at the Book Nook, and these are the books I got. I just said I was going to show them tonight. I got the Letters of John and Abigail Adams and the Penguin Classics. John Adams, one of our early presidents. I have a biography of Abigail Adams, and I have some biographies and books on John Adams. I don't have his letters or his diaries, except this one. And then I picked up, this is called Ted and I, A Brother's Memoir by Gerald Hughes. This is written by the brother of Ted Hughes, who was a poet and who was married to Sylvia Plath. So I got that from my Sylvia Plath collection. And then this is a book, The Land of the Open Graves, Living and Dying on the Migrant Trail by Jason D. Leon. This is like published by University of California Press. It's pretty graphic description of what the people who are fleeing Mexico or Central America and what they have to go through and all the ordeal and suffering and pain and death. And so I picked this up in his gripping and provocative debut. Jason DeLon sheds light on one of the most pressing political issues of our time, the human consequences of U.S. immigration policy. The Land of Open Graves reveals the suffering and deaths that occur daily in the Saharan desert of Arizona as thousands of undocumented migrants attempt to cross the border from Mexico into the United States. So I got that. Then I picked up this old issue, the Paris Review. It came out in 2014 summer. It was only 25 cents. I wanted to read the interview with Joyce Williams, who and it has a tribute to Peter Matheson, who died in 2014. So I just got it. It was only 25 cents. And then I picked this interesting book up. A Reader's Book of Days, True Tales from the Lives and Works of Writers for Every Day of the Year by Tom Nissley. So it's kind of like today is September the 1st. It says here, September 1st, born 1889, Herbert Ashbery, The Gang of New York. 1942, C.J. Sherrill, Down Below Station. Died, Richard Steele, The Tatter and the Spectator. You know, he was an English publisher and writer. Siegfried Susan, Counterattack. He was a poet who died in the First World War. No, he didn't die. Well, it says here he died in 1967. He died when he was 80. So, anyway, it has all these tales in here. Look kind of interesting. A Reader's Book of Days. True Tales from the Lives and Works of Writers for Every Day of the Year. So, yeah. So I can put these down on the lower level. Like I said last night, I picked up our oldest son's moving boxes. I'm going to start packing them with books. Haul them to different thrift stores. Take them to the Book Nook. And yeah, maybe in about a couple of years, I'll have a concise little collection of books that will just blow any kind of bohemian, avant-garde, radical, literary freak. I don't know. Which books, you know, that's the thing. I was thinking tonight, I wish I could know somebody who had the same kind of literary taste that I have and just go through my 11,000 books, not my Christian books, but my secular books, and just say, keep these and get rid of everything else. I pretty much know what I would do, what books to get rid of. And because a lot of the stuff I have down there, a lot of it's nonfiction, American history, European history, political biography, poetry, art. I have huge collections of different writers like Updike and Joyce Carol Oates and Norman Mailer and Philip Roth and John Irving and Edmund Wilson and D.H. Lawrence and John Steinbeck and Tom Wolfe, and huge collection of Allen Ginsberg, Jack Kerouac, William Burroughs, San Francisco poets. Tons of books on music, history of music, history of art, Impressionism, American Indians, Civil War, First World War. Just goes on and on and on. So am I going to read all that? Probably not, because I'm still buying books. So to me, if I'm going to get rid of books, I should stop getting books, or at least be very selective of what I find, and not just buy it because it looks interesting or I think I'm going to read it or whatever. So I don't know. Sometimes I wish I'd just become, I'd get dementia and I wouldn't give a hoot about anything. But then I don't want to be a burden to my wife. I don't want my wife to have to take care of me. I'm going around with dementia, not knowing who in the hell I am. That'd be kind of depressing. So yeah, so today, as far as my diary, I ended on page 707. It's going on 10 o'clock. I can take some sleep aids and go to bed by 11 o'clock and wake up tomorrow and start this whole shebang again. Oh, one thing else is I want to get in reading again next week the collected stories of Machado Diaz, translated by Margaret Joel Costa and Robin Patterson. I did want to keep reading this. I probably will keep reading Hovoc this week. And I still want to Saint Teresa, the life of Saint Teresa of Avila by herself. I was going to show you this biography on the life of Saint Teresa of Avila. Teresa of Avila, Progress of a Soul by Catherine Megwick. I have not read this, so I don't know if I can recommend it. I don't know what her position is, but I've been looking through it the last couple of days, and it's just a general history, but it's better to read her life along with this if you're going to get into St. Teresa of Avila. And I do want to get back, and well, I still want to read this week, Seeing God, Beatific Vision and Christian Tradition. I want to get to the chapter in here on the Puritans. I'm almost finished with the chapter on Dante. And then you have part 3, the Beatific Vision and Protestant thought. He's looked at, Hans Boersma has looked at the Eastern Orthodox, the Catholic. He's looked at Dante. He's looked at St. John of the Cross, Simeon the New Theologian, St. Augustine, Gregory of Nyssa. He's looked at Platonism. But then he goes into John Calvin, which is the next chapter, Commendation and Vision, John Calvin, and on face-to-face vision of God. So I want to get into this chapter this week. And I really want to get into the Bible. I want to get into the Gospel of John, so I still want to read the John interpreted by Christian medieval commentators, and I still want to read, I got this big, massive commentary on the God. See, if I'm going to read something old, I want to read something new. So I really kind of like this commentary, the Gospel of John, a commentary by Frederick Dale Bruner. I like this. I also have this book here, Theology of John's Gospel and Letters, a Biblical Theology of New Testament by Andreas J. Kostenberger. And I have his little commentary. Reason why I don't like this commentary, it's just technical. It's just dry. Whereas Bruner, it's more like reading he's more earthly. He goes more, it's more practical. It's more down to earth. It's academic, but it's also it's like somebody who's giving an adult Sunday school, and he brings it down to day-to-day life, and it's just a good commentary. So I want to get into these things this month of September. I don't know. Like I said, I feel terrible. I just don't feel like getting into anything. I don't know what it is, what's wrong with me. Maybe I'm just going through one of those bad times. So I thought I'd make a video. It is, like I said, it's September the 1st, 2018. It is 10 o'clock here in West Michigan. Tomorrow is a Sunday, a new week. And life just keeps slamming me against the wall. So I hope you're all doing well. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for subscribing. And hope that maybe tomorrow night I'll make another video. I don't know what I'll do. It all seems kind of pointless at times. Anyway, I'll sign off until next time. Bye.